Okay, so we addressed the pigeon nefesh, the two things that the Rebbe did away with, and that is to give the justification from the tshuva of the Ma'ariv, and to give the address now, related to that, I wanted to share with you this, a very, very fundamental sikha. This is from Shabbos Chol Hamoed Sukkos, 1951. It starts like this. The Rebbe is talking about Kabbalah's oil. And he says Kabbalah's oil is very necessary and very underscored when it comes to the relationship between a chassid and a Rebbe. The chassid has to know that he's the foot, and the Rebbe is the rosh, the head. And he has to, in Yiddish, gitze chiber in ganzen, and has to be totally devoted to the Rebbe and carry out his instructions, I'm translating here, with absolute Kabbalah's oil. Now, one could ask, what do you mean he doesn't have a head? So he has a head. What's the proof? Jerry says you got to put the tefillin shel rosh on your head. So he does have a head. And here we're insisting that no, we're the foot, not the head. So the answer is, this is the style of 1951, early years. The answer to this, as he says, the Rebbe said once about the Kabbalah's oil means acceptance of the yoke of heaven, of the soldier. Quote, Rebbe, a soldier doesn't have a head. He used to say that but he does, that a soldier only has a head in order to hang the rifle. If he doesn't have a head, the rifle's going to fall off. So he has a head. That's what the Rebbe said. So the Rebbe is saying that's what a chassid has to do. He has a head to hang the rifle on. To go out there and do what he has to do. Now, this is connected, especially very powerful words coming, friends, here, to writing a pun to the Rebbe. We just said now about the head and the foot. The Rebbe tells a story that there was a Meshulach, I think that's on the Tzemach Tzedek. A Meshulach, so he was collecting funds for the Tzemach Tzedek. And he was a petach. Now, I think this is Russian or Ukraine. Petach means a fool. So he would collect money, but when they would give him a pidyon to bring to the Rebbe, he would refuse to take it. And he would say, I'm not giving this to the Rebbe, straight to the Eibishter. No intermediaries. It would seem that this is a valid point. The answer is, as explained in the tshuva of the Chassam Sofer. Chassam Sofer, Rabbi Moishe Sofer, lived in Pressburg. Some 200 years ago, as you all know, was a Rosh Hashiva and a big Mechaber of Sfarim and author of Response in Halach and Shuvas, and universally recognized. The Rebbe adds, it's noteworthy that in the Sfarim of the Chassam Sofer we find in Yiddish es warf sich durch Chassidische Werte. Chassidic ideas, he wasn't officially a Chassid, but there are Chassidic ideas that permeate his writings because he was, his Rebbe was Rav Nosson Adler, famous Mekubal, a German Mekubal, and he was also a disciple, Talmud Mufik, a very close Talmud of the Baal HaFlo, Yitzchak Korovitz, if I recall his name correctly, was one of the Talmidim of the Maggid. So his Rebbes were Kabbalah and Chassidim, so therefore he's strongly influenced by Kabbalah and Chassidus, although not overtly, it doesn't appear overtly in his writings, but you can see it, you see it in his writings. So someone wrote him about this, a question, and one of the responses of going to a Rebbe, how is that permissible? And moreover, as Rabbi, I remember, told us about this Fabrengen, the questioner was asking, or Rabbi was elaborating, that it's forbidden for a Yid to ask a Malach. It's implied in the Chassam Sofer's answer. Ask a Malach to bless. Story with Yaakov and Esav is a different story. That's subjugating Esav's Malach. Also, that's before Batan Torah. At any rate, moreover, it's forbidden for a Jew to ask the Malach to be your advocate. But Hashem doesn't hear. It's a local call, as the famous joke goes. It's a long-distance call. So how is it that a Malach, a Jew, cannot entreat or even employ as an agent? Going to a tzaddik, yes. How so? This is the question that was addressed to the Chassam Sofer. And he answers and says, Malachim, angels, indeed are intermediaries, and they're forbidden for a Yid. But to ask a Yid, that's something else, because a Yid, their place is higher than Malachim, and a no Jew is an intermediary, because all Yidden are all one great body. Doesn't bring it here, but there is. It's pretty. Yeah, this isn't the quote of Chassam Sofer. Yeah, he says all Yidden are one great body. I don't think he mentions there it's based on famous Gemara Yerushalmi Masechet Nedarim. There, the Yerushalmi talks about the prohibition of taking revenge against another Yid and says how ridiculous it is. He compares it to one hand cuts the other hand. What's a person going to do? You cut, looking at his right hand, you cut my left hand, take the knife, and now cut the right hand. No one's going to do that. It's your body. So the Rishalmi, it's a famous Rishalmi Nedarim that brings out that all Jews are one spiritual body. So when one Jew is in pain, the other Jew is in pain. So since they're both in pain, it's better that the head should address the doctor or deal with the problem than the foot. And it concludes, quote, the Talmud Chacham is like the head. Bottom line, angels, no, that's something else. Another Yid, that's part of who we are. You haven't gone outside of yourself. It's all one great spiritual body. And especially now the Rebbe adds, and especially the Nesiim, who are the heads, Rashi Alpha Yisrael. Now listen. Here's where it gets very, very, from here it's understood. Maybe we'll stop here, right? We said we'll stop at 5 to 7. Okay. The hard-hitting part about how to, we said this is only gay how to write a poem. And if you don't write it properly, it's problematic. So we'll see that. I don't want to rush it. We'll continue this tomorrow, and we'll hear the very powerful words. How to write to the Rebbe, and how to relate to the Rebbe. So we continue with Hashem tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful day. Good to see you, Sid. Good to see you, and have a tzlacha day.